I've done some stupid things in the stock market. My biggest loser is coming from the bad habit of not taking my stops. I try to throw more money at my losses, constantly doubling down, then praying to the trading gods to come out break even. I've had times where it bailed me out and it was a simple phew, and the problem disappears like a fart in the wind. And then there's times where it didn't work out, where I let $500 turn into $7,000 losses. I feel dirty, angry, unmotivated, depressed, and just throws me off my rhythm in my trading. So how do I deal with it? First, I like to use bands and a bit of foam rolling to warm up those joints so I can really wind up my punch. In all seriousness, there's actually 3 things that taught me how to deal with these situations. 1 being the stock market itself, 2 is a sushi chef, and 3 is Mr. Tony Stark. But before I get started, as always, this is not financial advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. So first, the stock market. For me, it's about putting it into perspective. I like to zoom out to a larger time frame because in the moment, when I'm having a really shitty trading day or a losing streak, it feels like the worst thing ever because I'm measuring it to such a small time frame. For example, let's say Monday through Thursday, I average $1,000 each day, but then on Friday, I let my emotions get the best of me and exceed my daily loss limit of $1,000 and end up losing $5,000. Well, now I'm in a pretty shitty mood because not only did I wipe out my entire week of fun coupons I collected, but I'm actually down on the week now. So it feels like I just wasted a week worth of work, and now I'm coming into the following Monday with that hanging over my head, and I feel more pressure than usual, which can lead to me being scared and being gun shy, or even worse, I start to revenge trade or force trades, and possibly letting a bad day spiral out of control into a bad week and month. Never a happy ending there. So that was James Poor Young activity. Me today, instead of getting tunnel vision on that week's performance, I like to ask myself, what does the larger time frame look like? I've been doing this since June of 2019. That's almost 2,400 days that I've studied and traded the market full time. So if I look at the full picture, that loss is just a grain of sand at the beach. One life lesson I learned from the stock market itself is that through all the BS that it went through, the Great Depression, the financial crisis, the dot-com bubble, the pandemic, the tariffs, AI bubble, whatever you want to throw at it, it doesn't give a flying fuck because it just gets back up and continues to make new highs. Yes, it looks horrible if I look at these events on the daily time frame, but on the yearly time frame, they were just pullbacks. And that's how success works. The days constantly fluctuate up and down, but it's not letting those mishaps erase all the progress I made so far and keep pushing forward. I like to think of it like a video game. Sometimes I beat the level in one try, and sometimes I fail, lose progress, and have to replay the same level all over again. Yes, it's annoying, but if I'm willing to play a level over and over again, understand that this is a game of miles, not inches, just that shift in mindset is a huge win, because come Monday, it'll be back to business as usual for me. So I look at it as I get to replay last week's level all over again this week. I'm thinking more long term because I know from my track record, I'm going to make new highs. Okay, that's great, but what if I'm a new trader and I don't have a long-term positive track record to lean on? Well, number one, if I am a new trader, I wouldn't be focusing on financial goals. I would be more focused on behavior goals. To get a bachelor degree in any profession, it takes 4 years. 4 years of classrooms. So to think I'm going to become a profitable trader in 4 days, in 4 weeks, or even 4 months is just an unrealistic expectation. In my first few months of trading, my P&L looked like it was on its period. Rarely did I see a green day. But it didn't really matter because I wasn't really focused on the money and I was more focused on my behaviors. Gaining knowledge, developing good habits, and just getting into a routine. Did you know that some of the top sushi chefs, before they even touch a fish, practice only making rice for 10 years? 10 years just to get the rice right is crazy. Then takes years practicing filleting a fish, roasting the seaweed, all that just to make a single bite of food. We all have this problem of being impatient. I want to win now, I want to be successful and rich now, but to become a true master of a craft, it's a lifelong journey. So even for me, who's been doing it for 6 years, look at someone like Warren Buffett, who's been doing it for 60 years. You gotta pump those numbers up, son. Those are rookie numbers. You have so much more to go through and learn. So for me, I don't think in days, weeks, and months, or even years. I now think in decades because I'm making a commitment to do this for the rest of my life. So if I'm a beginner, my wins and losses shouldn't be from my financial standpoint because I'm not going to be a consistently profitable trader right from the start. That's like a first-year medical student coming into class every day trying to perform open heart surgery until it works. Is it working? Did I do it? Did I save a person's life yet? That's James Poor Young activity. The focus should be on behavior goals. Can I identify patterns? Can I dedicate time to study? Can I pass a damn pop quiz? Here's a simple example of what that would look like for me. I trade gaps, so in the pre-market, scan for 3 favorite gap ups and 3 gap downs to watch. Trade only one if it fits my trading plan. Then at the end, I would review and grade my trade and find one management that would have worked out better for me and spend 15 minutes to learning something new. So it's like homework, a simple to-do list, and it can be baby steps like this to start. And then as I get more comfortable, I can slowly add more to my plate until I develop a good routine for my trading. That's behavior goals, risking the minimum amount and just focusing on getting the reps in, because that turns into experience and growth, and not stressing so much about the P&L side of it. Because once I start getting into the habit of doing the right things and eliminating the wrongs and making those adjustments, in time it will show up in my P&L, and from there I can think about financial goals and scaling up my risk once I feel like I graduated and developed a working system. But as a beginner, I'm supposed to experience losing streaks, and actually now's the best time to make every single mistake in the book when I'm risking the minimum amount. Which brings me to the last point here with my man Tony Stark. My mindset has shifted in a way where I don't see these bad events as bad luck, but as an opportunity to upgrade. If you're familiar with the Marvel movies, when Tony Stark made his first Iron Man suit, he didn't stop there. There's actually a whole meme about how Tony Stark learns from his mistakes, with entire websites that list all the upgrades he continued to make after every fault that came up. One being from Iron Man 2 when he's fighting Whiplash and he finds out that electricity actually heavily damages his suit. So he makes this adjustment to where now his suit can actually absorb electricity and turn that into power. But imagine if he didn't. What if he never upgraded his suit? Thor, come on, man. Stop walking so close to me, alright? You know electricity drains my suit. Yeah, I can't fly that high because of the icing problem. Whoa, Ant-Man's gonna be there? You know he could fit inside the cracks of my suit, right? Yeah, you guys go ahead. My suit can't breathe in space, so... just let me know and then I could put out the SOS signal. Dude, Iron Man kinda sucks. So these issues that come up in my trading, it's a sign that there's a flaw. So instead of bitching and crying about it, I say thank you for bringing this to my attention. I now know my flaws and can make the necessary adjustments. The only way these are issues if I don't do anything about it. So I try to be like Tony Stark and learn from my mistakes. Now, having said that, I feel like bad days and losing streaks will always be part of my journey no matter how long I've been doing it. Because not only is the market conditions constantly shifting, but also I'm human. I'm capable of mistakes, whether it's intentional or not. In the heat of the moment, in any life situation, I may do things that I didn't want or say things I didn't mean, but as long as I'm able to take accountability for it, I can mature from it. This year was all about making adjustments for me. Being kicked out of Schwab, E-Trade forcing me to use a brand new platform, the market shifting and me having to adjust my trading. But you know the saying, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, and it's about foolproofing my business as much as possible. So how do I deal with really bad trading days? Well, too long to read version, I eat sushi while watching Iron Man and throw my money into the S&P 500. I hope you enjoyed this one. Stay locked in. As always, I appreciate you for being your host on this one. Peace. Yeah.